Yeah, welcome back to my page, Dr. Okoya Eberson. Today we are going to look at the rice value chain. We have been talking about investments that are more profitable and reliable than other oil and gas investments. And we are today going to look at the rice value chain, which is another lucrative area that investors can really invest and make a lot of money, and is very reliable and profitable. Now, presently in Nigeria, our demand for rice in Nigeria is estimated at 6.7 million tons of rice per annum, and that is the demand, but the supply is just about 3.something million metric tons per annum. So we have a shortfall of over 3 million tons. And that is why you have a lot of people smuggling rice from all the borders, from other countries into the country, because the demand gap is so high that people are trying by all means to meet, because the demand is high. Now, when you look at rice cultivation, you will see that ordinarily 1 hectare of rice will give you about 2 to 3 tons of rice paddy. And these 2 to 3 tons of rice paddy, assuming it is 3 tons, you are able to get from 1 hectare of rice. After milling these 3 tons of rice paddy, you will get an average of 1.8 tons of milled rice. And when you package this 1.8 tons of rice into 50 kg bags, it will give you about 36 bags of rice, 50 kg rice. And now, assuming that you are selling a bag at 90,000, that 36 bags is going to give you about 3.2 million. That is for 1 hectare of rice. And considering the fact that rice only takes 3 months to mature, then you can see that if you cultivate just 1 hectare of rice and you manage it well, you will go home with 3.2 million approximately, or even more if it is properly managed. And now these are areas where even school leavers, graduates can go in, because it doesn't take too much of capital to cultivate 1 hectare of rice. All you need is a suitable land. And this is an area that it takes only 3 months for the rice to mature. And then the next thing is to put them into processing machines and got your rice. So investors can invest in these areas, considering the fact that our climatic condition is very favorable for rice production. And we are still importing rice from other parts of the world. And we have a terrain that is good for rice cultivation. If we don't want to deceive ourselves, I think these are areas that investors should go into. State governments, federal government, private investors, young school leavers should go into. Because it's a very lucrative area. If the environment is suitable, you can even cultivate 2 times in a year. And whenever you clear the land and then you prepare it for the rice farming, the upper year, you don't need to uproot roots again. You don't need to uproot trees anymore. All you need to do is to go back and prepare the land, clear the grasses and prepare the land, and you continue to use that particular land to plant. Maybe what you need to do is to expand. So you find out that these are areas that investors can go in and make good money. It's not something that requires complex equipment. When you harvest your rice, all you need to do is to locate for a nearby mill and mill your rice. You don't need to own a mill. You go to a nearby mill and mill rice. There are people who have rice mills. So all you go there and they will mill your rice for you, and you go to the market and sell your rice. So these are areas that young school leavers should look into, investors should look into, because investment that will give you 3.2 million for just 1 hectare Now multiply that to the number of hectares. If you are cultivating about 5 hectares, then you will see that you are earning almost 20 million for 5 hectares of rice farming. There are very few investments that you will be able to get 10-20 million at the end of the year, because when you remove your cost, your running cost, and the materials you need to run those businesses, then you will understand how the businesses are working. So the agricultural sector is a sector that if you understand and approach it very well, it's an area that you can get a lot of profit out of your investment, and it's very reliable because it is something that you can do this year, continue next year, and continue and continue. Only very few factors affect your rice. It's not something that today the prices are high, tomorrow the prices are down. As long as the demand is higher than the supply, the prices have continued to be high. So this is an area that we want to encourage people to go into this kind of business and make good money. Now, the next value chain I want to talk about is the oil palm value chain. Now, oil palm in the 1960s, you found out that when Nigeria was an agricultural nation, when we are earning our foreign exchange through agriculture, found out that this part of the world, this part of Nigeria was known as the oil rivers. The reason being that we are known for the cultivation of oil palm. And this, even Malaysia, that is today one of the world leading oil palm producing countries in the world, they came to Nigeria to collect their seedlings. The first seedlings they used in cultivating their oil palm estates, they got it from Nigeria. But on the discovery of crude oil, Nigeria decided to abandon the oil palm and then focus on oil. And now even the oil palm estates that were established several years ago, 30-40 years ago, they are over matured and the production is very low. And the estates are very few because most of them were established by the European Union. And immediately the European Union left, the Nigerian government could no longer continue. So most of these estates are also going into extinction. They are old, the palms are old, the production is low, and the demand for oil is rising on a daily basis. Now, we have a situation where we have to import oil from other countries to meet up the demand for oil in Nigeria. And that is why we need to look in this sector. Everybody knows the viability of oil palm. Every part of the oil palm is also important. There are several uses you can use it. You can get the oil from the red oil from the palm fruits. You get the vegetable oil from the palm kernels, and all these other ones and other byproducts that are needed in the world market. All these things are there, and our environment and the agriculture, our ecological zone is very suitable for oil palm. In our forest, if you go there, you are just growing wild. All we need to do is to plant improved varieties and make good money. Now, 1 hectare of oil palm is estimated to give us about 5 to 7 tons of oil palm per year. And now 1 ton of oil palm sells as 2.5 million. Assuming that you plant 1 hectare of oil palm alone, palm trees, 1 hectare of palm trees is going to give you about 5 to 7 tons of palm oil. And now 1 ton of palm oil is selling at 2.5 million. Now, if you multiply that by 7 tons, you are talking about almost 20 million per hectare. Now, assuming you plant 5-10 hectares of oil palm, you can now imagine the kind of profit you are going to make. Many businesses that people are doing today cannot fetch them 20-30 million. And then when you have started harvesting, you continue to harvest it for several years. Sometimes 30 years you are still harvesting. All you need to do is to maintain your farm. And after the first years of investment, clearing the land and planting and waiting patiently for the plants to mature, after all those sacrifices, all you need to do is simple maintenance, and you continue to harvest produce the oil and sell. Apart from the oil, the kernels can be used in the production of vegetable oil. And there are several other byproducts that comes with the oil. And these byproducts are very, very expensive in the international market. Sometimes we are even hearing of Malaysia using the oil, the palm oil, to produce aviation fuel. So these are areas that we need to look at. If other nations like Malaysia is surviving on oil palm, I don't see no reason why Nigeria should not survive on oil palm. And it is highly demanded in the international market. So these are areas that investors should look into instead of pursuing oil and gas, complex oil and gas businesses that most of the times we don't even have the technical expertise to run this business, to run and manage these businesses. Meanwhile, we have businesses at our backyard that are very suitable to our environment, very easy to manage, and then we are overlooking these things and going for more complex companies and industry businesses that we are finding it very difficult to run. We want a situation where state governments, local governments, private sector individuals should look in these sectors and begin to develop the oil palm. It's something that is very lucrative and will continue to give you money. Even after you can hand it over to your children. It's something that can be handed over from one generation to the other. So these are areas that we are really looking at it, that if invested in, you are definitely going to have more money than many other companies. Now, Nigeria in 2023 alone, Nigeria spent over $400 million on the importation of palm oil from other countries. Now, this $400 million is plenty of money. It's an area that investors can key in and make good money. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel, share these videos, and make your comments. Thank you.